Hello there, speed duelists! Welcome back to another tournament match review. Today we're doing the reviews of two tournaments, Speed Duel Showdown 176, which only had two matches, so I combined it with 177. First, let's get into these two matches. As always, these tournaments are held every Sunday night on DuelingBook. They are free to enter, so next week you could be one of these players. We're first gonna see Amiibo Pimp, who is on, looks like a Cyberblader, versus Xlosh, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, who is on some sort of fossil build. So we're gonna see the Blade Skater normal summoned, then Cyberblader fusion is activated, pitching a card from hand to fuse from field and deck into the Cyberblader. A tough monster to deal with. Let's see how Xlosh does it, although they do have multiple outs in the hand already. Fisher is going to be the first one. And that is going to trigger Amiibo Pimp's Cataclysmic Crested Calciphedia. So it special summons itself and then sends an Earth monster from the deck to the graveyard, namely Medora. Xlosh uses their skill. And yeah, it's not possible to chain Medora to the skill, but in theory, in the open game state, after resolving the skill to gain a counter, they could do just that. But they're not going to. Okay, just setting Fossil Dyna and passing turn. Amiibo goes for the Medora effect now, putting back the fusion materials, and is immediately gonna grab the Itwal Cyber. Minuscule Space Typhoon takes out the set Book of Moon. And just passing turn here. Okay. I think Xlosh is gonna go pretty ham here. He's gonna first summon Card Trooper and mill 3 cards. One of them being the Revival Golem, and when it's sent from the deck to the graveyard, you get to add it to your hand again. So that's a pretty neat way to gain some card advantage. We haven't seen that in the fossil decks yet, I believe. Something we have seen is the Fossil Dyna Pachycephalo. It's gonna get flip summoned to destroy the Calciphedia, and then that's a lot of direct damage. Let's see how Amiibo gets out of this one. Yeah, he's just gonna commit the Itwal Cyber and run over the Card Trooper. That lets Xlosh draw a card, and yeah, Weathering Soldier is gonna be more than enough to seal the deal here. Game number 2. Xlosh will have to go first. And yeah, that's not an amazing hand. Although, Quaking Mirror Force, Book of Moon, there are worse cards to have. Nightbeam snipes the Fisher, that's a bit unfortunate maybe. But Giant Rat does get in directly. Giant Rat now runs over the Fossil Dyna. And Xlosh finally gets the engine going. Card Trooper, okay. It's going to attack over the Giant Rat, which will summon, I imagine, one of the fusion materials, right? Yeah, the Itwal Cyber hits the field. Amiibo sets another card and is not going for any fusion plays. It's just gonna attack over the Card Trooper, so Xlosh gets to draw a card. And they are gonna use the skill, so putting a counter on Major in Paleontology, and then using that counter, probably, to fuse Sphere Rebo and the Weathering Soldier to summon the Skullbone, which can attack 2 monsters, I believe. It's not gonna matter, it's just gonna get ranked up into the Skull Warrior, Skull Knight rather. And that will be flipped face down by Quaking Mirror Force. Okay. Amiibo going into the offensive with his Giant Rat, attacking over the Skull Knight. But Quaking Mirror Force is gonna prevent the Itwal Cyber from getting in for a lot of damage. Now it's Amiibo Pimp's turn to flip the Quaking Mirror Force. So this game got kinda into a standstill. Medora is gonna try to solve that. X-Slush once again using a skill. So banishing a card from the hand to access this powerful fusion summoning effect. And this time it's going to be the Skull Bone. Attacking into the Medora, but here is a Wall of Disruption. Okay, that's going to be pretty big. Because right now, if I'm not mistaken, they could have just Tribute Summoned the Calciphedia and attack over the Fossil Dyna for game. Let's see whether missing that ends up mattering. X-Slush using the skill, discarding one, or banishing one from the hand rather. And here we see the Skull Buggy. What does this one do? When it destroys an opponent's monster by battle, it does 600 points of damage. Wasn't this Skull Bone hit by Quaking Mirror Force? I'm not. Oh no. Well, Book of Moon was chained to the Wall of Disruption. My bad. X-Slush going to crash the Skull Buggy into Zombina, and the Zombina reborns the giant rat. So a bit of a rat Zombina package going on there, and now Amiibo sees it. So we are going into a game number 3. This has been a long one, a lot of things happening, lots of back and forth. That's what we love to see in Speed Duel. Just a simple giant rat leading it off. And I'm getting a deja vu. Card Trooper is going to attack over giant rats. But first, the skill. Banishing one card from the hand. And yeah, this can become the big guy, right? No, not yet. Calciphedia is the high level you need, but yeah, maybe I'm just missing that. So the Skullbone attacking over the rat. Card Trooper attacking... oh no, Skullbone can attack 2 monsters. Right. So that is gonna clear out 2 of the rats. And Card Trooper attacking into Zombina is gonna reborn a giant rat. So Amiibo has bled some life points here, but yeah, they're not dead yet by any means. Space Typhoon on the Wall of Disruption, pretty good hit. Because now we're going to see Itwal Cyber fusing with Blade Skater for the Cyber Blader. And when the opponent has exactly 2 monsters, the attack doubles. Plus, let's not forget, the skill gains, lets it gain 400 attack as well. So, if I'm not mistaken, that's 5,000 on this Cyber. Yeah. It's gonna try to attack over Card Trooper for game, but Sphere Karibo has something to say about that. Yeah, X-Slush has to go into the defensive. But Quaking Mirror Force has something to say there, so yeah. And when the opponent has 3 monsters, the activated card effects are negated. So now there's only 2 of them, so it goes right back up to 5,000. And only 1, so it goes back to 25. And when the opponent only has 1 monster, it cannot be destroyed by battle. In the end phase, Medora is gonna put back some cards. Card Trooper milling 1. That does put the Cyber Blader back at 5,000, unless... Oh, Fossil Dyna is just gonna clean up the house. So that's 500 damage and 12. So Amiibo does have the Calciphedia, but it's not gonna help. It's not gonna matter because of the Fossil Dyna effect. So we do see X-Slush on the fossils moving on to the finals of Speed Duel Showdown 176. And they're going up against Domosky, who is on Loomis and Umbra. What are these guys doing here? Let's see. Cosmic Cyclone is the first card. Senju will add the Masked Beast, the high-level ritual monster. And clearing the Fossil Dyna. Okay, I can imagine Fossil Dyna being very painful to face for any ritual-based deck. The opponent X-Lush immediately going to fusion summon for the Skull Bone. I always mix up these names. But that's 600 damage plus 600 burn? Oh no. No. This is the one that attacks 2 monsters. Anyway, Domoski is gonna drop pretty low on life points. Archfiend Soldier normal summons, attacking over the Card Trooper. The opponent tries to, will summon the Calcifidia, also works when it's destroyed by battle, sending the Revival Golem, and lights out for Lumens and Umbra. This time Ixlos going first again, trying to get some Fossil Dyna action going, and it will work. So Force Raider just slices through it. Sonic Bird is gonna pick up Advanced Ritual Art. Fossil Dyna is destroyed, so Calcifidia comes out, sending the Revival Golem, which will be added back to the hand. Sola and Luna will flip the Calcifidia face down, and Ixlosh not using their Sphere Kuribo there. Okay, interesting. They wanted it to get destroyed, because the skill will allow for fusion summoning. Card Trooper does mill the second material. But Ixlosh still going for the smaller ones. So now we're going to see Advanced Ritual Art being used, sending these normal monsters to summon the Masked Beast. This guy's going on the thumbnail. Sonic Bird is flip summoned, but apparently Domoski's only on the 2 Advanced Ritual Arts and no other ritual spells. Domoski gonna try to clear up the board, but Sphere Kuribo is gonna prevent this 3200 points of damage coming in. The Paleontology skill is used, summoning the Skull Bone, which can attack 2 monsters. So unfortunately, the Masked Beast gets destroyed there. We're still not seeing the skill. Let's see. Archfiend Soldier normal summoned, and Ixlosh just used the skill again. This time we are going to see the Skolgios. It has to be the opponent's level 7 or higher monster. My bad. But this is just going to be enough for games. So we see Ixlosh winning Speedball Showdown 176. Next up, Speedball Showdown 177. We're gonna see Amiibo Pimp returning against just Azusa. Azusa on her Battle City Siren deck. One looks like Amiibo Pimp is once again on the Earth pile. Exploder Dragon is gonna get hit with Book of Moon, and Shield Crush is gonna take care of that, setting the Unbreakable Spirit to protect the Fossil Dyna. So here we're going to see Unbreakable Spirits in action. So that's going to be a huge Fossil Dyna, and Zombina's effect cannot activate here. Now Just Azusa has the Red Eyes Gearfried, and that would have been game if not for the Quaking Mirror Force. Amiibo draws one of the fusion materials, so we'll be able to summon the Etoile Cyber with 5000 attack, but it's not gonna matter, it's gonna attack over one of the monsters. It is an Earth, so maybe I could have attacked over the Fossil Dyna and then dropped the Calcifidia. I'm not sure whether that's how that works. But anyway, now we are going to see that interaction take place. And the Calcifidia comes out. So apparently that is how it works, or at least both myself and the players believe that. So that's going to be a huge chunk of damage. And Just Souza not getting the right top deck to get out of that. So 1-0 for Amiibo Pimp. And Just Souza will be going first. And just setting one. Feels bad, feels bad. Giant Rat is gonna come in and do some chip damage. Battle City Siren is gonna put the Giant Rat into a defense position, and then Shield Crush can just take care of that. Red Eyes Gearfried coming down, inflicting some good damage. And now we're seeing the Black Metal Dragon equipped to Gearfried. Gearfried using its effect to destroy a set card. And then Black Metal Dragon adds another copy of Gearfried. And Just Souza is gonna play around the potential Quaking Mirror Force. Galaxy Cyclone takes care of Book of Moon. And here we're gonna see another Itwal Cyber. It's gonna bump up to 5,000 attack points and try to attack over Gearfried for game. But there's a Blast with Chain. So yeah, that's not gonna work. So 1-1, we're going into game number 3. And here we see Souza starting with the Red Eyes Baby Dragon. Insanely strong card, and we're immediately gonna see it in action. So summoning the Gearfried Red Eyes from deck, equipping, and that allows Red Eyes Gearfried to pop the Wall of Disruption. Are we gonna see a Souza clean up fast here, or the Black Metal Dragon gets equipped? Gearfried is gonna use that equip card to revive a Red Eyes monster, in this case the Red Eyes Baby Dragon. Fossil Dyna normal summons, and that's gonna be a strong board position. I think Souza could have gone for game by switching the Giant Rat to defense position and then using Shield Crush, but alas. But yeah, Book of Moon on the Zombina is gonna seal the deal. So we see Just Souza moving on with the Red Eye strategy. Next up, we're seeing Katya versus Offended. And Katya is again returning with the Wind Dragon of Ra deck, while Offended is on Bandit Keith. Switcheroo. I remember this skill. Up to twice per duel, you can shuffle a card from your hand back into the deck and draw a card. Immediately gonna use that to put back Cross Porter. Gonna use Foolish Burial to send it to the graveyard, adding a Neospatian Grand Mole. And here we're seeing Aqua Dolphin. Who remembers this card from Goki? And that is gonna discard the Reactor Slime from Katya's hand. And Mind Crush, with the hand knowledge, is gonna discard 2 copies of Millennium Revelation. So players are having a bit of a discussion about whether you're allowed to see the opponent's hand on DuelingBook. I'm not sure either. So we'll leave that to the players. Source of Revealing Light is gonna slow down the game quite a bit. And finally we're seeing the 3rd Millennium Revelation being drawn. Katya is gonna use that, send the Ra to add Monster Reborn. Uses Book of Moon on the Grand Mole. And then Monster Reborn on Wind Dragon of Ra. But for that, you have to send the Revelation to the graveyard. So seems like a bit of a misplay there. Because this Millennium Revelation definitely should be in the graveyard if you want to revive Ra with Monster Reborn. Cross Porter is going to be normal summoned alongside Tribe Infecting Virus. And that is enough for game. Are we going to see another big Mind Crush play? Because the Wind Dragon of Ra deck does heavily rely on adding cards to the hand. But there's no Mind Crush in the opening hand. Although we might see it soon thanks to the Bandit Keith skill. Yeah, gonna use the switcheroo to put back a cross porter, draw a card. It's not Mind Crush, it's a Foolish Burial, so that is going to send the cross porter to the graveyard. And another Foolish Burial sending the Aqua Dolphin. So I'm not sure where Offended's deck is going. They accidentally reveal the Quaking Mirror Force. Oof. Katja uses Foolish Burial on the, what's it called, the Phoenix mode. Plays Swords of Green Light, so Spy is gonna special summon Descendant, but Katja immediately clears that with Offerings to the Dunes. DD Crow is drawn for Offended, excellent cards to side in. And yeah, Katja has no draw phase, so just has to pass. Offended draws Dust Tornado, another pass. Another pass, and Offended is finally gonna go into the offensive. But the Metal Reflect Slime is gonna try to prevent that, but there is a Mystical Space Typhoon. That doesn't matter. Okay, so just booking the Spy instead. Yeah, these plays don't seem very correct. But let's see. Tribe Infecting Virus is gonna clear the Grand Mole. Now we see Reactor Slime being summoned, still not attacking. And a Bandit using the switcheroo skill again, drawing into the Grand Mole. This could be big. Spy summoning another Spy. Tributing two of them for their own Dogoran. Okay, okay. Dogoran attacking over the Tribe Infecting Virus, so that's gonna be 1400 points of damage. And Reactor Slime sets the Metal Reflect Slime again, but here is a Dust Tornado to clear that. So Offended should get the replay there, but it seems they are unaware, but it's not gonna matter. Offended takes this one and moves on to top 4, I wanna say, yeah. Where we first see just Azusa against Domoski, and Domoski is cooking again. With a Viper skill. Hopefully we'll see it being flipped as opposed to, you know, the Loomis and Umbra. So just Azusa using Battle City Siren to flip the Gale Lizard, which is going to bounce back the Fossil Dyna. It's kind of funny. Red Eyes attacks into it, but there is a Sphere Creepo. Domoski going into the offensive with the Drillroid. There is a Book of Moon, unfortunately. Shield Crush is going to take care of the Drillroid. Battle City Siren will switch the Gale Lizard to defense mode, so Fossil Dyna can attack over it. Here's a normal summon of Gale Lizards. And on entering the battle phase, we've seen this spiel before. Let's see whether the Reptile deck fares any better in the second game. There's once again Red Eyes Gearfried plus Blast with Chain. And we're gonna see the skill card flipped, Cold-Blooded Tactician. Once per turn, you can change the battle position of monsters your opponent controls up to the number of face-up reptile monsters you control. This seems like a slightly worse version of Battle City Siren, actually, but it's gonna work out here. The Gearfried switched to defense position and Shield Crush takes it out. Okay, that's a niche, but I'll take it. Just Azusa now using Mai to switch the Gagagigo to defense mode. Yeah, this is not a quick effect, so I'm not sure why the Swamp Mirror is activated. Let's see. Here is Cold-Blooded Tactician, switching the Red Eyes Baby to defense, and Shield Crush is gonna take it out. So basically Domoski copying the game plan of the Battle City Siren deck. Yeah, Book of Moon delays the inevitable, but yeah, it's just gonna end here. Game number 3. It's cool to see the Reptile deck being played. I don't think I've ever seen anyone play this. Here is Galaxy Cyclone for a Blast with Chain. Gagagigo normal summons. And Cold-Blooded Tactician is gonna switch the Gearfried to defense modes? No. On the summon, yeah, Book of Moon is used. Unfortunately, Domoski also has a way to defend his monster. So flip summoning Gagagigo, activating Shield Crush. And yeah, Domoski attacking with a lot of damage. Sphere Kuribo is gonna put Gagagigo into defense mode so that Shield Crush can take it out, but yeah, this back row, yeah, it's not gonna protect Azusa here, so we are gonna see Domoski moving on to the finals with Reptiles. In the other top 4 match, we're gonna see Offended with the Neospatians taking on Citizen of Roma. Okay. Who is on Desert Sparrow. So seems like a flip Gravekeeper deck. We see Necro Valley coming out. Offended using the Switcheroo skill. And is gonna draw into Dogoran. So tributing the Gravekeeper's guard. And then using the Grand Mole to bounce back the Dogoran and itself. Recruiter going to try to attack with the boosted 1700 attack points, but we see Trap Hole of Spikes. When the opponent attacks with something that was just summoned, destroy it and do damage equal to half the attack. Original attack, that is, so just 600. And Citizen of Roma will add Gravekeeper Spy? No. Gravekeeper's Descendants. Although I would assume a Spy with Desert Sparrow would be pretty good. Offended has their own Gravekeeper monster, the Descendants, which also gets boosted by Necro Valley, but its direct attack is not going to be connecting. Stele adds back Commandant and Guard. I'm going to see Commandant be normal summoned, attacking over the Descendants, but Quaking Nerf Force is going to prevent that from happening. Switcheroo puts back the Galaxy Cyclone, drawing Breaker. Breaker being normal summoned, and it's going to destroy the Necro Valley. Breaker then attacks over the Commandant. Descendant gets in directly. But luckily for Citizen of Roma, they have another Commandant to search for a new copy of Necro Valley should they want to, but they're gonna pass for that. Instead they're gonna set guard, but the guard is once again gonna get tributed for the Dogoran and the Grand Mole doing its thing. So Offended, very cool brew so far. Let's see how far it can get in this tournament. Citizen of Roma gonna set Gravekeeper Spy. And yeah, in order to use the skill, you have to have one monster to flip face down. So he should have summoned the Spy and then could have done that play. Foolish Burial on Cross Porter will add a Grand Mole. And it is gonna try to bounce the Spy before it can activate its effect. But Curse of Anubis is gonna switch the Grand Mole to defense mode. So now the Spy can summon out the guards. Now the skill is used, flipping them all face down, then flipping the guards to face up attack position. Medora comes out, but Quaking Mirror Force. Okay. Now Grand Mole is gonna bounce the guard. Spy is flip summoned, bringing out Descendant. Descendant tributing the Spy to destroy the trap hole with spikes. And yeah, that's gonna be a big push from Citizen of Roma. Although we do see that Offended has the clapback with the Tribe Infecting Virus, destroying both of the Gravekeepers. But he cannot get rid of this set Medora. It's 1900 defense. Grand Mole gonna try to bounce, but Quaking Mirror Force is there. So now the guard will bounce the Grand Mole. Now he knows how it feels. Descendant comes down, is gonna try to attack the guards, and that is going to be successful. Citizen of Roma has a Descendant of their own, but it's gonna run into that trap hole with spikes. Aqua Dolphin being drawn, but it's gonna return to the deck for a new draw. And there is the Dogoran. Could this be big? The Dogoran is gonna tribute the set Fossil Dyna. And now we see a Grand Mole Dogoran working together. The goal of this deck, I believe. Gravekeeper Stele going to add Spy and Descendant again. So this could be pretty big. Descendant normal summoned attacks over the Tribe Infecting Virus. Dogoran will be tributing the Descendant. Grand Mole comes down and is gonna bounce the Dogoran. So we've seen this loop before. Commandant going to add Necro Valley. Spy normal summoned. The skill is used for a second time, so Spy flip face down, then face up again. And Citizen of Roma has the Hidden Temples of Necro Valley. If you have a Gravekeeper monster and Necro Valley on the field, it's a Vanity's Emptiness. But if you lose out on one of them, yeah, this card is destroyed. Mystical Space Typhoon is used on the Hidden Temples. He could have just destroyed the Necro Valley and then the Hidden Temples would have auto-destroyed. So maybe he just wants to keep the Necro Valley around for the extra attack boost. We do see the Grand Mole do its work and then Descendant attacks over the Spy. So that's 300 damage. And yeah, Citizen of Roma throws in the towel here. Very cool. So we are going to see Reptiles versus Kaiju Neospatians in the finals of Speed Duel Showdown 177. So pretty wild, pretty wild. Offended starting off with the Grand Mole, and we are going to see the Cold-Blooded Tactician skill, putting Grand Mole in defense mode, and Shield Crush takes it out. Gagigo will get in directly. MST takes out the Swamp Mirror, and Offended is going for the mulligan, draws the Foolish Burial, which basically adds any Neospatian to the hand. Drillroid will come down and destroy the Gravekeeper Spy. Yeah, in a modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Drillroid gets over flip effects. I wish it did in a different format, but you can't have it all. Drillroid will try to drill, but Quaking Mirror Force is gonna prevent that. Grand Mole gonna bounce the Gale Lizard. Cold-Blooded Tactician gonna switch Fossil Dyna to attack position, and Gale Lizard can get over it. Tribe Infecting Virus is Offended's next card, and it is gonna try to get over the Gale Lizard, but Sweet Rebo protects it, and then there is Book of Moon to flip the Gale Lizard face down, so it can just get flipped face up again, and then bounce Offended's monster. So 1-0 to Domoski on Reptiles. Offended starting off with the Grand Mole. Book of Moon is gonna get rid of the Grand Mole. And Offended just gonna bounce. Yeah, the bouncing of Grand Mole does work pretty well with the Trap Hole of Spikes. But looks like it's not gonna be enough here. Tribe discards Cross Porter. There's no target, but yeah, as Domoski points out, I think it misses the timing. Yeah, when this card is into review, you can add 1 Neospatian. Yeah. So missing the timing, even in a modern speed duel, important ruling to know. Gale Lizard is summoned. Cold-blooded Tactician switches it, the Tribe Affecting Virus rather, to defense mode. So Gale Lizard getting in directly. And here we're going to see that interaction of Grand Mole with the Trap Hole of Spikes. Oh, but Offended not even going for that. Or should I say Domoski, he's just gonna set a monster and go for that. Cyber Dragon can get in directly, so that's a lot of damage, pushing Domoski to 300. And it's gonna run into the Trap Hole with Spikes, so that is gonna do enough damage to go for game. We're going into the final game of Speed Duel Showdown 177, and what a showdown it's been. We're seeing a lot of crazy technology. Switcheroo putting back the Cross Porter, and Fossil Dyna will get drawn and run over by Gaga Gigo. Offended has Cyber Dragon, Breaker. Classic monsters, love to see them. Spheric Rebo gonna switch Breaker to defense mode, so that way Domoski can run over it with the Gale Lizard if he wants to. And looks like he's wanting to, so yeah. There goes Breaker without the opportunity to use its effect. Cyber Dragon attacking into Gale Lizards, and Neospatian Grand Mole gonna bounce that right back to the hands. Domoski has Drillroid to clear the Cyber Dragon. And I'm not sure whether the ruling is gonna come up, but no! Offended has Grand Mole, which returns to the hand. So yeah, Mind Crush can be activated. Drillroid is discarded. Now we see Gale Lizard coming down, attacking for 14. And we're seeing the favorite interaction again, Dogoran with the Grand Mole, bouncing both to the hand. But this doesn't advance Offended's game state, so yeah, he's gonna put back the Dust Tornado and draws the Trap Hole with Spikes. Okay, this is pretty good for him then. Grand Mole, Dogoran doing their thing and just passing. Okay, Tribe comes down, that's a good chunk of damage. And Drillroid is set, and Drillroid has a lovely 1600 defense points. But looks like that might not be saving Domoski here. Because Tribe just calls dinosaurs and wipes out the Dogoran. Is that gonna be enough? Yes, because these are just 2 shield crushes. So we are gonna see Neospatian Kaiju pile takes Speed Duel Showdown 177 over Reptiles, which is also a pretty cool contender. Guys, I was Ryan Atlas, thank you for watching, make sure to like this video and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Bye!